going to go to a doctor's visit. This time, not my doctor's visit, but one of Shelley's. And it shouldn't be anything big. Hopefully, everything will be just normal, and that'll be it. So you know who gets to come along and play with us.
It's a beautiful day. It's in the mid-70s.
Are you prepared? Are you alert and aware? Could you get help if you or those you care about need it? This emergency just happened to us.
My sweet boy.
And we hope that everyone can learn from it.
Notice the bumper sticker? The one on the left. I love Rutland, Vermont. That's where my dad was born. Ready for a little walkabout today, buddy? Yeah, me too. Yesterday was kind of long. We'll talk about that in a minute. You know, most of my life was spent as a firefighter and a medic. And old habits die hard.
Sir?
Yes.
There are not supposed to be any animals inside the...
He's a service dog. Ask Sally, she knows him.
Yeah, I didn't know, so I had to bring it up just to make sure.
Not a problem.
I'll try to remember.
That's okay, even if you don't. We're used to it.
Yeah, just so you know, they don't have to mark for the service dog anymore, so nobody knows for sure.
I know.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
You bet, sir. It's kind of a cold day again. I mean, overcast in the sky. It feels moist, rainy, just kind of off. We're out doing our walk, and we've had another event. Emergencies. How prepared are you for one? Shelley and I, worked together really well, but that was what our jobs were. She was my dispatcher and organized everything from getting police, fire, EMS, whatever was needed to the scene. And my job was to respond there and provide whatever aid and treatment that I could. It never really leaves you. It kind of stays with you all the time. We had just come back from Shelley's doctor's visit. And we were headed back to the RV. When we got into the park, Shelley suggested we stop by and visit one of our friends whose wife is a friend also, had just had some surgery done. So we went ahead and stopped. And we're talking with them. They'd both come out. And we were there for about 10 or 15 minutes when Grizz kind of stood up, and I had just at the same time noticed that he was getting a little bit wobbly. In fact, he wasn't saying anything. He just reached over and grabbed the mirror on the truck and then grabbed the door's window that was rolled most of the way down. The instant he did that, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I knew something was off. Called his name, and he didn't answer. Called it again, and he started to look like he was getting weaker. There was a lot of pallor. Immediately unbuckled, put the truck in park, and climbed out. And Grizz was all upset. He wanted to go over and do what he could to help. Shelley looked at me like, what's going on? And I said, take care of Grizz. Walked around real quick and got to him, got my arms around him and was able to hold him up and ask him what was happening. And he said he doesn't know, just felt dizzy. Asked his wife to get a chair and put it behind him, and I helped him to sit back down, and he was having a hard time keeping consciousness. He was right on the edge of completely passing out. At that point, when the blood leaves your brain, it's hard to think straight. You can't think of what's probably the best thing for you. Shelley was already on the phone by the time I got over there, and he was telling her, nope, I don't want anybody. She looked up at me and I said, call. She did. Not that she wouldn't have, she was going to do it anyways, but she got EMS started. Our station, number 12, is directly across the street from the park. And they were there within 2 minutes. Got him hooked up to an EKG, and we could see some interesting stuff, enough that would warrant a trip to the emergency room. He didn't want to go, but he went ahead and listened to us and took the ride. Now, we're not going to discuss anything about people's names or medical information. Just that it was the right thing to do. Prop over my shoulder. I think I've probably turned on and off every hydrant in this particular city over the years that I've been working for the fire department at one time or another. Yeah, it got a lot of attention. He wasn't really happy about that, but he knew something needed to be done. So we went back home. We told his wife that, hey, we're here. His neighbor had come out and offered help as well. RVers are just so wonderful. And if she needed a ride to the emergency room, either of us would be more than happy to take her. So Shelley and I went back to the RV, grabbed something to eat. We hadn't eaten all day. And then right after that, we thought, well, let's go over and check on her, make sure she's fine. Because she had just had some pretty large procedures done to her. And she said, yeah, she would love to go. So we picked her up, took her to the ER, got inside, and he was doing really good. We were there for a few hours, typical hurry up and wait. And got a chance to talk with the ER doc who filled us in. He definitely had some issues going on, but at this point he was doing quite well. So they were willing to, he had been put into observation, and they were willing to go ahead and release him provided that he follow up with a cardiologist. So we took them all back home again, and everything seems to be working out well. We've talked to him since. He's got appointments with doctors. He's going to use his wife's. And another couple of wonderful friends are still going to be here to spend time and enjoy the holidays with all of us. So as far as interesting things about emergencies, the emergencies are second nature to Shelley and I. The rest of the people in our community and all the other RVers that we know. Are you prepared? Do you have all the local emergency contact numbers listed by your door or on your refrigerator? You should probably keep one in the bedroom too, in case there's big storms. Do you have the address of the place that you're living at? Have you got instructions that you can give to emergency services on how to get into your park and the best access to get to where you're located? Do you know what number building you're by when you're out walking in case something happens then? Are you aware of who your neighbors are? Have you gotten their names and phone numbers in case you need help? If one of you can't drive for one reason or another, say you're on medications that won't allow you to, say that you're in a position where because of other problems that you have, you just can't do it and you need your neighbor's help. There's so many things to think of. The local EMS may not be a part of the 911 system. And on your cell phone, it may not have the enhanced 911 to be able to let the dispatchers know exactly where you're at. So yeah, there's a lot to think about and a lot you should do and prepare for, just in case. We work together so good, it just comes natural for us. And most of you out there are a team as well. You've learned to deal with all the everyday trappings of setting up and driving the massive RVs that you have, even the smaller ones and the van lifers. Use that team attitude and mindset to make sure that what you're doing is going to take care of you and your partner. Courtside Cafe. Very cool. By the way, that's the gym right there. Things happen in a heartbeat, and if you're not prepared for it, if you don't have your wits about you, it can be very difficult to get the help that you need where you need it. So your phone has an app on it that's built in, at least the iPhones do. It's a compass app. If you're not sure of where the directions are, pop your phone out, turn on the compass, and take a quick look. Like I said earlier, make sure you know the number of the buildings that you're at, or at least the name. Some of them will tell you, this is the billiards room, this is the grand ballroom, this is the main office, so you've got it there. But even better than that, use the buddy system. Don't go out and do things without having somebody else around that can see when something's happening to you, that'll notice before you're even aware of it, because when it starts to happen to you, you're going to be foggy and you're not going to know. What's your matter, buddy? Thank you. And that fog is going to be what slows everything down for your response. I know, baby. Come on. That's a boy. And seconds can be the difference between life and death when it comes to a medical emergency. Awareness is a big thing too. Be aware of your surroundings. So not just in a medical emergency, but you want to be aware of your surroundings so that if something happens that you need police, you'll be able to make the call as well. When she gets it, find a nice place to sit down and talk to you, and the lawnmower follows me over here. Oh, goodness. Grizz never ceases to amaze me. His job is to take care of Shelly, and he does a wonderful job of it. He's saved her life a couple of times now. But he's also alerted to other people that he loves. He loves just about everybody that he meets. With our friend, about the same time that I had picked out that there was something off, and that's from years of training as a paramedic, Grizz knew instantly, and he was trying to get our friend's attention. He knew something was wrong, and he wanted to go over and help. And when he couldn't get something to happen, he was strapped into his car seat. He went through his algorithm. It's basically, number one, he does a touch. Boop his nose on Shelly's hand. If she's not responding, then he'll lick her face. If she's still not responding, he'll try to grab her to hold on to her to let her know. And if it's still not working, he'll start to bark. He'll try to get somebody else's attention to do what's needed to get help for her. And he was doing that for our friend. I'm astounded. Life's too short, and there are so many things to think of when you're RVing. because you're in so many different places. You're not at home and you're not accustomed to the different colloquialisms and things that go on within the community that you're at. You don't know if they have an EMS system that's vibrant and full. Most places do now. But fires in an RV, the same thing. Just get out as quick as you can. There's nothing in there worth saving. Nothing worth your life or going to a burn unit for. Don't take a chance. Always get to know everybody around you so that you've got friends that can help you out in case of an emergency of your own. All of our friends would do the same for us in a moment. And they have. They've already done it. They've provided support for us, and they've provided us transportation when we've needed it, helped us to move our rig when we've needed it. This lifestyle has been wonderful. We want you to stay here with us for a long, long time. So please, take care of yourselves and the ones you love. It's the coffee cart. Pretty amazing. Good morning, ma'am. Good boy. They're in the process of resurfacing the courts.
Thank you again for sharing your Sunday with us. We hope this video will help you to evaluate your preparedness. We're looking forward to seeing you again next week at 5 p.m. Arizona time.
And it looks beautiful.
Please travel safe.
Look at it glisten. Still wet, hasn't dried yet. Wow.